We have done almost, we have completed everything in the Socrates. So we are going to do the criticism on Socrates, whoever criticized Socrates and in which ways they have criticized. So basically they told he is intellectual arrogant. He have intellectual arrogance uh, regarding the Socrates. So let's see how um, why they have told it. So, despite claiming to know nothing, people felt he designed framework to expose and humiliate others publicly. Basically, whenever he used to do dialectics, he used to take out synthesis of the dialectics. So, this synthesis, whatever it is there, I have told about synthesis in the previous episodes of this series. So, please watch those episodes. You will get to know what is dialectics and synthesis. So dialectics and synthesis, whenever they have he have um, extracted the synthesis of dialectics, so people usually felt humiliated because of it, because he just want to expose the current beliefs are wrong. When current beliefs are wrong, which are being followed from generations, so people usually feel humiliated even today. For example, if you go to 1900s and say sati is wrong, or 1800s somewhere around and say sati is wrong, don't do sati. So people will be feeling humiliated. The similar way today it is banned, of course, but at late before point of time in the history, and then you go there and you say sati is wrong, then people will feel humiliated because that is their belief, that is their opinion, which means doxa. So that is what happens. That is what happened with the Socrates also. They felt that he is intellectually arrogant, and then they thought that he was doing subversion of authority. Subversion of authority means the current religions, the current religious beliefs, the current Athenian rules, the current social order, whatever it is there, he wants to change it completely, because he said that question everything. When you question everything, these won't stand with the reason. These might have stood with the reason hundreds to 100 years back, not exactly when Socrates asked to question. They felt he is anti-democratic. Of course, he is anti-sophist, and then he have association with the tyrants. This is where I have to tell you the story again. Two former students were leaders of 30 tyrants. What happened is, when the Peloponnesian War happened, Sparta versus Athens. Athens was defeated, and this democratic army, whichever it is there, which is fought, they went into exile. That time what happened is, for 8 months, after 8 months they'll come and take back Athens, whoever went into exile. So these 8 months was ruled by 30 tyrants. Athens was ruled by 30 tyrants. These 30 tyrants have leaders, and out of those leaders, two are Socratic students, Socratic philosophy students. So two students are leaders of 30 tyrants who ruled Athens. So people usually feel like there is some other guy, British came into India, and if I and my friend rule India, then what will people feel? People feel that I am supporting British. The similar way they felt that Socrates is supporting the Sparta's ideology, because Sparta is oligarchy, and even Socrates is saying that democracy is very dangerous. So similar way he have done that. So that is the reason because of which Socrates got much more problems in his lifetime later. That is what happens. This is what 30 tyrants overthrew the democracy. This is the criticism on Socrates basically. If someone says about Socrates, we will cover in their chapters. For example, if Plato tells about Socrates, we will cover in the Plato's chapter, not here. You don't understand it like that. See, for example, in J.S. Mill have commented that it is better to live as a human dissatisfied than a pig satisfied. Even this sentence, I know that people, you will get confused because you don't know what J.S. Mill ideology is. Once you know J.S. Mill ideology, then only you can understand why he told about human being dissatisfied than pig satisfied, which is better. So I hope you understood till now. And then this is about the criticism of Socrates. I have completed everything almost. We will this whatever it is there here. the timeline and the Socrates and Plato will be started in the Plato's chapter itself, because I'm connecting their Socrates with the Plato. So I'll recap once again so you will get an ideology. If you are here for the criticism only, then you can leave the video. If you want to get a recap of Socrates, then you can continue to stay. Basically, Socrates was born in Athens, and then Sparta Athens war happened. And then once Sparta Athens war happened, Athens was fallen down, and then the 30 tyrant story you will get. And then before the democracy, what happened is there are a people known as sophists, whose ideology is more like truth is relative or subjective, goal is like persuade audience and protect your throne. And then they used to do rhetorics. What is rhetorics? Rhetorics is like influencing the people with multiple ways, which includes essays, voice modulation, speeches, town halls, and meetings and all. They used to charge fee. So the Socrates and Plato told that these are prostitutes of wisdom, because they used to charge fee, and they feel that education is never a commodity. It is. I'll show you this. Yeah. Education is not a commodity to be sold. It was a pursuit of for the good soul, nothing else. So true knowledge should not be sold. That is what they thought. And then we talked about the epistemology, dialectics, and the pursuit of virtue. The unexamined life is not worth living. Knowledge is virtue and rule of law. Epistemology is like episteme, knowledge and opinion. We are basically call it as episteme and doxa. Doxa usually changes. Episteme doesn't change. So they felt that it is he is idealistic. And then we got dialectics, which is also called as elenchus. And then what are dialectics versus elenchus? We have dialectics versus rhetorics, we have differentiated here. And then once the elenchus is done, we have the examples here, what human one says, human two says, and then what is the result. This is called thesis, this is called antithesis, this is synthesis. And this might be called antithesis, this might be called thesis, there is no problem. It is like just an example to understand. And then pursuit of virtue, which is ariti, he tells that soul should be enlightened. It's not about the material world or the materialistic pleasure you should get. And then unexamined life not worth living, he says that questioning is the basic thing you have to do to it is the main purpose of the human soul. So then he was categorized as gadfly because he was questioning religious beliefs and everything. And then it is done. And knowledge is virtue and rule of law. What are his concepts on the knowledge and virtue and rule of law? We have already discussed over here, which are wrongdoings stems from ignorance. So ignorance should not be there, and everything we have done over here. And then we have done the criticism in this video itself. So you got an whole idea about the Socrates, and Socrates is done. The just 1% or not 1%, 0.1% is remaining, which I'll connect in the Plato chapter, because it is just the bridge between Socrates and Plato. It's not about now. So this is what Socrates as per the videos. If you have any doubts, please let me know. I'll make sub episodes, and I'll number them differently, and then I'll put in the same playlist, so that your friends or anybody who is watching in the future can get idea about this. So I hope you understood everything regarding Socrates. Please, you can go and write PYQs. Everything you can answer very much perfectly. You can write it. So, and regarding the notes, whenever I display the notes here, you can automatically write your running notes, because I cannot provide this, because I'll be adding something, and every time making it a PDF and providing a link will be very much difficult for me. So thank you so much. Please like the video and share it with your friends and groups, whoever does the PSIR. So I'll get views and I'll get some revenue from YouTube. Once I get some revenue, I'll be happy to proceed much more further with more energy and zeal towards this. If I don't get money, I'll be stopping. I might be stopping some series, or I might maybe I might be stopping at one point of time if I feel this is not that important, because I'm not making any money, so that I have to check some other parts of my life to get money. So that is about money. I am being open everywhere, so don't I'm not a person who says that I'm not getting any money from YouTube. I as of now no money, but at one point of time I'm expecting money because of this video series. So that's it for today. Meet you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Socrates, goodbye.